It's good to be back. Thank you so much. The pandemic has caused a little separation from all of us. Perhaps some of you are meeting me for the first time, and of course, the rest have seen me for some time. Like, of course, our dear Robbie Mother, with due respect to our founder of the GSME, and well, what happened to Aggie coverage? She is probably on a phone call at this time. And Ellen Bitters, no, I've known her for some time, being in the same country where we came from. So this afternoon, I will do justice for you to be listening to me. It might not be something that you haven't heard before. You probably, like coaches, have heard this before, but what I'm trying to contribute today is this book that I just wrote. Put the courageous legacy builder and the things that you already know into a system. Because as life coaches and business coaches, we have to guide our clients. They have to take home something that after attending our events, they will have something that they can look back to and apply it. Because if it is not implementable, if it is not duplicable, it's not a legacy. It's just something, it's just like a motivational thing. But if they don't do anything with what they hear from us, we're not doing justice to our clients. Because they say repetition does the work. For the first time, when you hear something, you only probably retain a good 30% or 20% of what you hear. Just like us, we do our, extensive, retraining as life and business coaches, because the repetition will double it as we go along. And doing action or applying it, we all know that. I mean, we are not new to these concepts, but I will just illustrate to you how I put it as a system in the book. And that system also has the so-called customer acquisition system. So I paired the two, how to help someone to build a legacy, finding their inner courage, and reaching their highest potential, and then teaching them the customer acquisition system, because that's the key why we keep our businesses flowing. Make it a legacy, make it something that's meaningful, and make it something that's going to last for a lifetime. So without further ado, I will have to go to my book. You will be given some of the very, very salient points in my book. I am going to read some of them because I'm a storyteller. I tend to go away from my topic if I get carried away by a topic. We all do that. And we want to give justice to you also and respect your time for being here. And I promise I will finish my talk within 20 to 30 minutes. Is that fair?
Yes.
But you have to be understanding that I will read most of them so that I don't go away from my topic. Okay, so if someone can wave a magic wand and suddenly change something on your profession or on your business, what would that one thing be? Remember, I have a magic wand and you want to make a wish that something changes in your profession or your business. What is it that you want it to be? You don't have to answer that question because I have a set of guide to make you think what it should be. Here, first, do you want your clients to see you as a better expert? You want them to see you to be a better expert. You're already an expert, I know that. That's why you're here, guys. But you want to be a better expert. That's one question or one wish that you might want to say to yourself. Or perhaps you would like to be more effective at closing sales or handling objections. Right? Having more sales and handling objections. That's one. Or is it repeat business that matters to you most? Repeat business. Don't we all want that? What if your current clients felt that you were the only person or the only business who understood and could effectively serve their specialized, unique, and individual needs? That's also something that's you're thinking of, right? That you are the only person, the only business that can respond to their specialized needs. That's special, right? And then, how would you like to have more contacts than you could possibly handle? More customers flowing in. You want that, right? Is that a wish that you want to make? How would you like to have things that you would change as a better, happier, and a more productive legacy builder? So this afternoon, I am here to present to you the system on how to become a courageous legacy builder, which is a handbook that I wrote to empower creative business systems creators to reach their highest potentials by finding their inner courage. That's why I called it the Courageous Legacy Builder. So, since I have been introduced by the beautiful Diana London, our graceful host for GSFP in Long Beach, I would like to tell you a story because she asked me, tell a little story about your journey too. You might be interested, would you? We're all interested in a story, right? Of a person, right? So I have a little story here that I wish you will appreciate. So you want me to read it because, as I said, I might get carried away and I can tell you a lot of my story from my childhood which is not necessary. Or I can tell you some story about my grandchildren and you don't need it, okay? This book marks the beginning of my paying forward, as what Diana said. This is a paying forward which leads to the completion of my legacy. A tribute to the journeys of immigrant women, especially the youth and the other minority groups in America. I'm sharing my own business mastery, which began when I left the Philippines and went to Canada and then immigrated and now a citizen of the United States. Long story. It's been over 2 decades. I've evolved from a labor-intensive healthcare provider, or in short, a caregiver, which is, of course, a noble profession or a noble, career. At the beginning, most Asians come here, not only Asians, but perhaps other nationalities come here. And because there's a huge need for healthcare providers, then I went into that route. But I was a CPA. I was head of the biggest corporation in the Philippines, the Social Security system. But I came here and I was ready to face the fact. Because one of the tributes or essential qualities of a legacy builder you will find out in my book is you have to pay the price. You have to do some sacrifices. I was a boss. I was a big boss, and I was also doing a lot of my career in the corporate structure of the Philippine government. But then I was ready. When I went to Canada, I decided to become a caregiver. And I was courageous to face that. Because that's the only thing that there is for somebody new. Somebody who's not educated in North America. But I didn't feel bad about it. I wasn't afraid. I know it was just temporary. And so, my own journeys as a minority woman in a foreign land have led me to rediscover myself. And through the aid of self-development programs, many aha moments which resulted in the mastery of my courageous values actually helped me to break free and break through in my career and my relationships. Ladies, I left my 3 children in the Philippines. I was a solo mom. It was painful. I had crying moments every single night, but I had to do what I had to do. In the Philippines, there is no divorce. You have to endure it. Either you run away from a bad marriage and be free and be yourself, but I decided to take the courage of taking care of my children, 3 of them. And when I left, I already have a grandson. I didn't want to make you feel bad about me because those moments are gone. I've already passed that stage. I didn't consider it as a hindrance for me to be in where I am right now in the United States. A minority woman, of course married, and I really don't know how it was. That's why I wrote this book. I didn't know who it was to ask and what it is to do, what am I here for, and how I can serve my purpose aside from working a career for my family. So I am doing I'm having a purpose for, I was leading a purpose not only for myself, but also for a family. So I defined what legacy means. Legacy is engaging in a business with a meaning, with a purpose. I hope you all will agree on that, right? Not just working for the money. Be willing to work and help people even when money is not the primary consideration, as long as you can create a ripple of change for the people whom you wish to serve. And that is what I did. I didn't stop. After gaining all my self-development systems in place, I wrote a book. I put up a nonprofit, thanks to Miss Aggie Cobrin, Miss Diana London, and Miss Robbie Matter, Miss Ellen Bitters, who knew about this, who are supportive of my cause, because I have to create a ripple of change. I cannot just keep the courage to myself and not share it among other women. So what I did was to be creative. You and I both know that it's no secret that things are changing today, fastest than ever before. Technology has become more sophisticated, competition more keen, and our consumers, the people whom we serve, are more educated and are aware. You cannot just sell them anything. They will definitely look for a way to search what your product is all about. In fact, these days, they buy from you because they see the reviews, isn't it? So they are educated buyers. So let me cite to you briefly. There are 2 elements of becoming a courageous legacy builder. Because the topic in this afternoon is not just being a courageous legacy builder in the toughest times, but become a courageous legacy builder with whom you want to be. You don't have to reinvent yourself. You can be a courageous legacy builder by who you are. So this is a discussion this afternoon. So the first 2 discussions will tell you on some elements, like personal traits of exceptional courageous legacy builder. There are 8. So let me refresh you. Some of these you've heard before actually. But I put it as a system in my book, because not all are life coaches and not all are consultants like you. This book will be actually given to diverse minority women and youth of our communities. This is not for sale. This is free. This is the jump start for anyone who is coming into our nonprofit. I will definitely give them immediately a customer acquisition system and how to develop their businesses or their advocacy as a legacy. This is already a mouthful and a handful. And then we take you to our live event, to our launching in November. And then we also take you to our Asiana app, which is in the works, whereby putting all the powerful training tools at the palm of your hand. It's an app. You see these days, people don't pay attention to you if you have no technology. You have to have an app, right? You agree?
Yeah.
I mean, you always would not say, okay, how do I log in and how do I find this online? If you don't have a website, you don't have a business. Agree? Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. And we are actually, as I said, just an ad lib, that we're having these live events, because aside from the book, then we will take you to live events, and then we will put them in our Facebook Live, we will put them in our website, we will put them in an app. And from there, that app will be a digitalization hub with access to funders and investors. You will definitely need financing. You will, because you might have initial capital, but how far can that get you? So that's the dream, and that's the mission. That's exactly what we are doing and what this book aims to accomplish. So this is the starting point. So I will enumerate to you all the 8 special traits. Okay, the 8 personal qualities for a successful, courageous legacy builder. You might have heard of this before, but please be kind to listen again, because sometimes you can say to yourself, "Oh, I've heard this before," but the question is, am I using it? Or if I heard of this before and I use it, if you have used it, how well is it working for you? And what have others learned from you? So I hope you don't mind that I will recall all these traits, which I call also the special qualities of a legacy builder. One is know what you want. Know yourself exactly what you want and expect out of your business. We all know that, right? We know what we want, but is that representing our real passion, representing who we really are? You might not need a business. Just like me, I realized after 10 years of constant training, I don't need a business. I need to be a leader of a nonprofit. That's where I settled myself into, because that's where I belong. Because even in my business, I love helping people, but I'm afraid to charge them money. Right? Are we in the same boat? Perhaps. And funny is, I realized it after 10 years, but at least I realized it, okay? So, and that's important. So now we have to have the so-called SMART goals. You have heard this from leadership mentors, right? SMART goals. And what are those? I'm not going to discuss the meaning, but I know you probably could have recalled it by me saying that the SMART is the best way to set a goal. And that's being specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Because time is all we have. One is gone, you cannot recapture it. And so you have to consider the time, which is the last factor, to be, the most important qualities of a goal. And then if you haven't done that, please pay attention. Because we say, oh, I'll do it for tomorrow anyways, I have a lot of time. But look at your watch. Is that watch coming back tomorrow? No way. It's still gonna be tomorrow. Never go back to yesterday. Right? Yes, I have a goal. Yeah, but you can wait. But I don't know how long you can wait. So, and the second one is the ability to focus. Isn't it that most of us have that difficulty? I'm not exception, right? I do 2 things, I do 3 things, but at the end of the day, are we really doing justice to what we're doing? Before you know it, you are widely spread, and there's no way you can scale your success in any of them, because you'll really never know if you succeeded, because you're paying attention to more than one. and you only have one body, right? So, and the next one is, okay, that's the second one, ability to focus. Determine the price you pay. I was just discussing to you about my journey. I was ready to face the fact that I was sacrificed when I got into North America. Because I know the price I have to pay. I have to sacrifice my time with my kids. I have to sacrifice my own dreams. And I have to sacrifice my own career in the Philippines when coming into the United States, okay, of course, via Canada. I realized that because I want to be a courageous legacy builder. But I didn't know then what it was called. I was just doing it. That's why this book has documented everything that happened in my life, and I have proven to work, and I'm now able to duplicate it, and then made a book out of it. Sounds good? Okay? So, and because I'm also gonna give you an example that this kind of book writing is actually a marketing tool. It can tell too many things about your knowledge. It can tell too many things about your story, but you can also make this as your marketing tool. Because you can only be a good advisor if your clients are able to follow through after you teach them one time. Consulting one time, you charge them money, good, but are they going to come back? Are they going to implement? But with a book, they will always remember. And this is an easy to read book. 83 pages more or less. Not too much to read. You go to your toilet and do your business, it's done. Yeah. I guarantee you, yes. Especially those who have some problem in doing their business out there. Or maybe after the shower, you sit down again and try to read, while drying your hair. So number 4 is self-responsibility. Self-responsibility is best exhibited during the 2020-2021 pandemic. What did you do during the pandemic? Tell me. At least one or two. On the issue on self-responsibility. What did you do during the pandemic? When economy locked down, when everything were changing, people weren't buying. What did you do during the pandemic?
I just relaxed.
All right. And you had a business. All right. Well, we're talking of self. Okay. Yes, ma'am. There you go. She wrote a book. So she wrote a book during the pandemic. There's a lot of things you can do. As a legacy builder, you don't stop being creative. Okay? Here's a little credo. It contains just 10 two-letter words, and I want you to memorize it for yourself. In relation to self-responsibility, being accountable. If it is to be, it is up to me. Can you follow up for me?
If it is to be, it is up to me. That will be a way of stopping to blame the government, blame pandemic, the global warming, blame everything. But remember, you have a business and you're a legacy builder. You can only be responsible to yourself and to the clients that you serve. So, if it is to be, it is up to me, right? Number 5 is to be committed. Make a commitment that you are going to succeed no matter what. Is that a tall order? To be successful no matter what. That is exactly what I did. I am here today standing before you to be a testimony of this very strong quality of a legacy builder. I never stopped. I never quit. Don't try to work 2 different jobs, as I told you. Or, you can lose one of them or lose them both. And then you will not be able to have your SMART goals implemented. Number 6, the extra mile. This extra mile is something that you must go for. Because if you are always willing to do more than what you get paid for, the day will come when you will be paid for more than what you actually do. Is that something that's interesting for you? If you keep, if you are always willing to do more than what you are paid for, the day will come when you will be paid for actually more than what you actually do. Robert Cialdini, in his book Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, discusses what he calls as the law of reciprocity. Anybody here is very familiar with the law of reciprocity? Law of reciprocity as pertains to the business. So, it says that when you do something for someone else, there's an unstated obligation for them to want to do something for you in return. It's an unstated obligation. It's a law. It's a natural law. It operates whether you believe it or not. So when you go to the extra mile for your clients, you've just set the stage for the law to take effect. But it's only the extra mile, ladies. Just the extra mile. Okay? When you give them what might be considered as normal service, adequate service, or good service, you haven't earned enough the right on to expect that law to work for you. If you haven't worked an extra mile, there is no extra reward and there is no extra result that you are expecting them to have. So, you really got to do something special in order to gain an advantage to today's highly competitive marketplace. You need a break? Somebody need a break? Okay. Still okay? Am I going too fast? Because, I'm fine? Alright, so, okay. So, we'll talk more about those 8 qualities later. The book has it. If you want to get it, it's not for sale. Again, it's not for sale. That's why I'm giving you the benefit of knowing what I have here. And aside from the 8 qualities of a strong legacy builder, I will tell you the 6 personal abilities. So you have to have these abilities. Aside from your qualities as a person, I have 6. I developed 6 personal abilities that are guaranteed that it's going to work. One is effective communication. Remember that everyone is different. Each of us have different communication styles and behavior, so that you must pay attention to your clients. They have different way of communication. They have a different way of understanding what is it that you are doing and what is it that you want them to do for them. Because if you do not have a communication with your clients, they're not coming back to you. Second is stay on target. Stay on target. So when you say stay on target, it's making a mistake or the error of a problem for the first time is okay. But not when you commit the same mistake over and over and over again. So you can correct your mistakes for the first time, but when you do it again and again for the second time, the third time, the fourth time, you're not staying on target. Number 3 is develop a foresight. Having a foresight is actually a good skill. When you say foresight, it is described in my book as to be able to look at the past as well as what is happening today and predict what might happen in the future of your business, which is your future legacy. You should be able to, to connect everything else. Connect the dots from the past to the present and what you really want to happen in the future. So number 4 is demonstrate leadership. Leadership is the ability to take charge and move others to action. It's not up to the client to tell what they want. You are the professional. So you have
to help them and advise them better than what they already know, isn't it? If they already know what you are advising, then you are not a good coach. You are not a good consultant because you don't have anything better. You don't have anything new. And last but not least is action. They said that remember action is the key. As we discussed earlier, it's not what we know, it is what we actually do for the clients. Not just for ourselves, but what we do for the clients. So you know a lot of things. They said knowledge is power, but actually knowledge without action is useless. And if you too are not implementing something or taking action to improve yourselves, to improve your business, you are going to teach your clients the same thing. So those are 6 abilities that I discussed aside from the strong qualities. So these are all the first few lessons that are taught here on how you can be a good legacy builder. And since this is equipped also with the marketing tools, I will recite to you just two of the customer acquisition system that I developed. One is how much are you worth? Strategies, I have strategies for determining and increasing your value to your clients. It's very important that they know how much are you worth for them. Not only in terms of money, but in terms of keeping you as their consultant or as their coach in the pursuit of their business. It's important to realize that your success is whatever whatever you do or in life for that matter will always determine 3 things. I'm sorry, I'm already having dryness of throat. Life and business go together. This is what I realized. That's why I also launched the 3C Techniques Life and Business Mastery Program. You cannot separate your life from your business. You agree?
Yeah.
It's always got to be life and business. And so, one of them out of the 3 is the need or demand for what you do. There has to be a need or demand for what you do. Number 2, your ability to do it. Are you really able to do it? Are you an expert? Number 3, the difficulty of replacing you. So no matter how they shop around, they'll always go back to you because you're still the best in town. So there are more of these topics, like I can discuss to you the last one, which is about the Disney law of ultimate abundance. Anybody who is familiar with Disney's law? Don't you know? Do you know that Disney was the one who invented the law of unlimited abundance? No, you didn't know that? We're all from California. We should know. All right. So Walt Disney was a man of extraordinary vision and foresight. He knew what it would take to be successful in his chosen area of business, and he developed a formula that expresses philosophy and could be used in any type of business to ensure it's a success. He called it as his law of unlimited abundance. So what it says is this. I'll share it to you again, and I hope you keep it to your heart because you're not taking notes, but I'm okay with that. Do what you do so well that the people who see you do it will want to see you do it again, and will bring others to see you do it. Make sense? I repeat it. Do what you do so well that people who see you do it will want to see you do it again, and will bring others to see you do it. And it can happen to your business. Your business is definitely going to benefit or reap the rewards whatever you sow. So the question you must answer in your mind is, what are you going to do to earn the rewards that you really want. And what is the reward? Unlimited abundance, right? So I have a suggested answer here so that we can finish off. It's simple. You only have to look at the question backwards 3 times. Okay, first, what kind of rewards do you want? That's the first thing to consider in answering this question. Second, what do you have to do to get those rewards? What is it that you have to do to get those rewards? You already identified what rewards you want. Now you want to know for yourself, how are you going to get that rewards? Do you have a plan? And then the last thing is, who are the people who was going to give you those rewards? So identifying what the rewards, identifying what are you going to do to get those rewards, and who are the people that's going to give you those rewards. With these ladies, my dear fellow GSFA ladies, I thank you so much for the time. I know some of you are already having, your digestion process in your belly. I just want to invite you, if you are interested, to come to our November 12th event. We will have more of this, and we will be inviting government regulators and funders as well. We will be having also, we are thinking of having a parade of national costume if you want to, exhibit your national costume at night. During the day, it will be a symposium. And in the book, I have all the 7 topics in the symposium. It's technology awareness, financial information and access to funding, small business formation and branding, nonprofit startups, system creations and book writing, home care professionals, capacity building, and the Ashana app development. So those are 7 capacity building programs that we are launching to the community. And the symposium is free. And there's a roundtable discussion in the afternoon. At night, there will be networking, mixer, and we're thinking of a program that's going to be very interesting for everyone. Those who just want to attend the networking at night can come separately. And those who are interested to know how to get this whole idea of being a courageous legacy builder from starting your business, or maybe you want to restart a new one, and getting the funding for it. We have supporters and collaborators who will be there, who are willing to support our graduates, legacy builders, to get the funding. And that will be the realization of all your dreams, because I know all of us are in that stage, where money is always scarce. But we all heard about this. Money hasn't left the planet, right? It hasn't. It's always there. You only have to act about it. With that, ladies, thank you so much, and I